So, y'all remember SSX Tricky? Who am I kidding? Of course you do, 20 to 35-year-olds. You're vibrating in your seat right now, cause SSX was the absolute bee's knees back in the day. Hell yeah, you remember Tricky, cause
it's tricky, 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 tricky. It's tricky to rock around, that's right, on time, it's tricky.
Okay, now actual video. For those who don't know, SSX Tricky was the second game in the critically acclaimed snowboarding series SSX, aka the first game I ever owned, and the start of my life's downfall. But throwback to the year 2000, the PS2 was just learning how to walk, and devs had finally kinda figured out how to make 3D graphics not cursed anymore. And being the creative risk-taking juggernauts that they have always been, EA creates SSX, the snowboarding series to end all snowboarding series. Like literally, that's not an exaggeration. That's kind of what happens. You see, SSX was a well-known and loved franchise through most of the 2000s, nabbing spots in everyone's best PS2 games list and elevating the production quality standards for the genre. But as sports games started to expand and fall into FIFA and Madden's butthole, along with the hot new gaming trends of the week grabbing all of the attention, snowboarding titles had a tough time staying fresh throughout the years. Cause let's be real, snowboarding just isn't that sexy. It's got no long-term sizzle. The genre gradually became a dying breed, and Lord knows most teeny boppers don't have Everest in their backyard to keep the passion alive, unlike, say, I don't know, skateboarding, where you can hang loose everywhere. But after SSX's last attempt at relevancy in 2012 and whatever the hell Ubisoft's Steep was supposed to be, the series, and genre for that matter, has slowly faded out of the public's collective consciousness, despite it being really loved during its heyday, back when Snow Dogs was really popular, I guess. But that's why we're gonna remember it, y'all, cause the love is still there, even if it's been buried under more adept, refined, French baguette, highbrow gamer entrees for years. But why remember SSX Tricky? Why not the first, or the third, or Weirdo's First Pick World Tour? Simple! Because it's tricky, y'all.
It's tricky to rock around,
Also, I'm biased. Anyway, SSX Tricky was a game I was full-on addicted to growing up, playing it non-stop through most of my childhood, always trying to beat my best times, highest scores, and seeing how much I could style on my poor sister who considered Trick Boost cheating. Now, while I do love the first game, since it is my first love, Tricky was literally SSX 1.5. It was the first, but with more. More tracks, more characters, more tricks, more snow, and more eating hardcore. But the series was successful partly because the games had a high level of polish and personality, which Tricky gladly showed off any chance it could, with all of its poppin', lockin', and glockin'. What can I say? The thing was just good old-fashioned feel-good fun, mixed with style, energy, bright colors, and over-the-top tracks that have definitely seen a few lawsuits.
Hey there, demons. It's me. Your boy.
But compared to the other sleeker, sensual, serious SSX titles, Tricky was the wacky inflatable tube man with a kick-ass attitude. But despite its busy presentation, it was still a basic snowboarding game where you pick a character, select a track, and you either compete in a race or a trick off with some tiny nuances thrown in. But with huge tracks filled with shortcuts, interactables, and unique obstacles combined with tight controls, you could pull off some really cool moves, which the gameplay highly encouraged with its tricky meter mechanic, where you turn your tricks into speed boost juice, and if the meter gets full, you can perform special uber moves like breakdancing, full board flips, the propeller TM, and the classic hot and heavy. But if you manage to land 6 of those successfully, you get unlimited speed boost for the rest of the event. So ideally, if you want to be the fastest, you gotta constantly be twisting and twirling while trying to pull off uber moves, which feel damn good to land. Now, you could max out the Tricky meter really fast if you're really good, so the general gameplay loop is like crack because the controls aren't dumbed down. It takes a good amount of timing and skill to pull off some of these jumps and tricks without getting clotheslined by a pipe. So the gameplay is punchy and rewarding, but one of the reasons Tricky was such a showstopper was because of the characters. Weirdly enough, SSX has lore, with its colorful cast of original characters packed with backstories and everything. These dudes got damage, y'all. But some of the fan favorites were the young blood, yeah, I smoke beer Mac, I'm not like other girls Zoe, my personal favorite Simon, Clark, Waifu Bait Kaori, Roadkill Barbecue Luther, Disco's Not Dead Eddie, and the very, very interesting Canadian feminist icon Elise, who is essentially the face of the series. But these characters' personalities didn't just shine through their tricks and catchphrases, but also through their interactions with others via a rivalry system. Yeah, Tricky has a baby social link system where, depending on your actions in events, since you can slap and push people, determines your relationship status with each character. So if you attack other players, it raises raises their chances of being more aggressive towards you permanently and vice versa. So you'll start matches with some heated beef or mild flirting depending on your statuses, making matches feel more personal, which was neat. Of course, a slight oversight with this system was the fact that if you manage to knock down other players, it instantly fills your speed boost, which is a huge advantage. So if you're smart, you'll want to shove, punch, and smack literally everything in sight, inevitably making everyone hate each other and having events end like an episode of Jerry Springer.
Don't take your lack of talent out on me.
So can't say the game encouraged good behavior, but you know what was really Tricky's crowning achievement that made this title stick out the most? That soundtrack. Oh lord, them tunes. I don't know whose idea it was to base the game's entire identity to the song It's Tricky by Run DMC, but whoever you are, thank you. Actually, thank you to the whole sound department, because on top of the killer soundtrack, the sound design is just great. From the menu selection clicks, to the radio host sounding guy that yells at you over the PA,
Call your mom in the room and show her how great you are.
to the tense airtime ambiance before landing a big trick. Stuff just sounds so satisfying, and out of all of the SSX games I've played, Tricky just cannot get out of my head. Seriously, I've tried. I've actually ended up listening to the soundtrack a lot on loop for the past few nights for research, and I feel weird and very tired. What's up with that? But the game isn't an absolute slam dunk that stands the test of time. The track list is pretty minimal compared to most modern game standards, and in order to unlock the tracks and character goods, you have to replay each track 4 times and place in the top 3 as every character in the World Circuit mode. Needless to say, you might suffocate in your sleep from all that padding, but regardless of the fact that Tricky isn't the biggest or most elaborate snowboarding game ever and is graphically aged like high-def sludge, it was a great, lively game to play by yourself or with friends back in the day, and that's really the point of all this. It was a product of its time. People loved SSX and eventually moved on to newer, shinier, better things like we always do, but the series did raise the bar for a lot of sports games and was one of the first staples of the PlayStation 2's lineup. So if you're a game collector or something, please add this to your list, or start crying out to EA for a re-release, because apparently that's incredibly effective now. THQ Nordic gets it, so it's just a shame people kind of forgot about SSX. This is normally just like the finisher line. I do this with a lot of the videos, but people didn't technically forget this one. It's just old. So we're gonna end the video here. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you all for watching. Gonna go play some more now. That's it. Video's over. Toodles! Hey, will you look at that? It's everyone's favorite segment, the end of the video. Just kidding, but seriously, this is like shameless plug time. Thank you guys so much for watching and supporting the content, especially all the lovely people in the fan spotlight. But I have a Twitch. If you guys want to follow me on Twitch, that's down below. I live stream a lot, and if you want to come talk to me, that's a place to be. Also, first time reactions, it's pretty neat. Also, I have a Twitter if you also want to come scream at me. It's a pretty easy way to get my attention, so yeah, links down below. And I gotta keep promoting this because apparently a lot of people still do not know. I have a side channel now, SuperButterBuns, links down below. That's where most of my gameplay stuff is going now. Don't panic, I'm still doing main content on here, like series videos, like for beginners and stuff. That goes here, but for stuff like Twitch highlights or just reactions to things, that is now on SuperButterBuns, so if you haven't followed that, please follow that. Please, God, I am begging you. Also, I have a Patreon if you're interested. That helps a lot. But other than that, yeah, shameless plug. Thanks for watching. End of the video. More stuff to come. Please subscribe and get the heck out of here, you weirdos. Bye-bye.